Well, let's try again with the I AM Discourses. The pixies and the faeries seem to be having a bit of fun by turning pages as I'm taking sips of water, but we shall continue from where we left off. I've actually found where we were now. Okay, I'm going to continue. This Discourse 12, and this is Part 3. This keeps you in greater attunement. Face God. And the energy always surges forth to command every situation. Individuals who understand this law are not subject to injustice and the conditions which the outer selves of other beings try to impose upon them. Keep the outer reminded of this often. Be sure always within yourselves that there is only the presence of and power of God acting in you and your affairs. Keep using the statement at all times that there is nothing hidden that is not revealed to me. This is always necessary, however, no matter what individuals want to do, your safeguard is always to pour out the love of God to them. When individuals try to enjoy something through injustice, without question, they never enjoy it, for they always lose some faculty by which they could enjoy it. Other personalities always have the same privilege to stand with God that you do, and if they do not choose, that is not your business. God is the all-knowing presence and power, knows and discerns all and discovers all things. You may say for another, Mighty Master Self, the I Am presence within this individual, come forth in thy conscious power with thy mighty insight and foresight, with thy wisdom and directing intelligence, and see that all things are adjusted for her and that she is given the peace and rest she so much deserves. I am the commanding presence, directing and commanding this to be done, and it is done now. Lift the consciousness into the full dazzling light where she may see and know the repose, set and beauty that is hers by her own creation and service. It is a mistake to let sympathy draw you into conditions that are very destructive. Take the stand. I am the only presence acting there, for helping those who have passed on through so-called death. I am the presence holding that individual in the sphere where he or she belongs, teaching and enlightening him or her. If the students can get the correct idea of pouring out the love to his or her own divine self, he or she will receive complete relief from every discord. To perfect conditions say, I am the presence there governing and healing the situation. Mankind in general and the doctors have distorted things pitifully. Oh God, it's even worse now. With the giant pharmaceutical companies and all the kinds of crazy things that are going on in this world at the moment. And this was 1932. I think this was more a prediction for now, really, looking at this. To continue, the individual who wants to rise into the God presence and live there needs the energy he or she wastes. The very energy individuals waste is the force and strength by which they are enabled to hold fast to the God presence. This energy is the life they need to enable them to turn and hold steadfast to the God presence. When the outer self has for centuries used life's energy to create wrong conditions, that waste of energy becomes a wide open drain upon the consciousness of the individuals. Doctors are responsible for much of this terrible condition, for they teach the gratification of the sex appetites, and that is the greatest avenue of waste with which human beings have to contend. This is what makes it impossible to hold fast to the God presence long enough to attain mastery. It is 95% of the cause of old age and the loss of sight, hearing and memory. Wow. As these faculties only cease to function when there is no longer a stream of this life energy flowing into the cellular structure of the brain. Well, this is what Kundalini Yoga is all about, and well, certain types of yoga and certain types of meditation and abstinence. There's a big thing about abstinence at the moment, and how that increases your lifespan because you release so much energy when you orgasm. It's ridiculous because you're trying to create life. Each time you do that, you are trying to create life. So the energy that you release, if it's just casual sex, is wasted. Of course, you get a quick rush, but it's wasted energy, and you're exhausted after it, aren't you? Like you always are. So you realize how much that drains you. And I wonder, if how right Saint Germain may be on this, and how many years this might actually take off your life. Incredible to think about, and something to really consider. To continue, you cannot tell this to individuals until they have had such hard knocks that they are almost desperate with the misery of their own creation before they will listen to you. The will is absolutely nothing without this life energy. There is only one possible way to change anything which has been created and directed into a wrong channel. The attention is what holds it fast to the wrong use or expression of it. Instantly direct the thought to the higher self. Many people get the idea that they can control it by sheer force of will, through compulsion. This cannot be done, for you but dam it up, and it only breaks out somewhere else. The only permanent way to overcome it is to change the attention and rise out of it. Use the statement, I am the governing presence of this energy and the only power that can raise it. I am the presence raising and transcending it, and that action is forever self-sustained. No, I am the presence doing this, and therefore it is done now, for God's activity is always instantaneous. In any wrong condition, the first thing to do is to call on the law of forgiveness. Remember that when a thing has been set in motion or energized, it simply acts. The physical body is the vehicle for contact with the sense world. When nearing the point of precipitation, continue on using the physical vehicle for doing the ordinary physical service. There is the inner mental and the physical world. The physical body has been created to act in the lower rate of vibration and is the neutral vehicle provided. To direct and handle physical objects by the mind alone needs an accumulation of electronic force in the electronic circle of the individual. When using the energy below the ascended state, this consciously generated energy is held within the electronic circle, which surrounds every individual to a more or less degree. This accounts for some individuals seeming to have a limitless amount of energy, for that which is accumulated in one lifetime is carried over into the succeeding lifetimes. Isn't that interesting? Perhaps one of the most unfortunate things in which human beings live is the man's so-called legal right to bind another individual in the sex activity when the other wishes to rise out of it. Even in the ignorance of the outer mind, some natures have a powerful development of the love activity. The pure love of God never goes below the heart. That's what I've been shown as well. That's heart consciousness. That's heart-based consciousness is Christ consciousness. Is Buddha consciousness, Christ consciousness. True love never requires sex contact of any kind. That's also true. The great ascended hosts of lights are ever with these who want to do right. Send your thoughts out to them, and you shall always receive help. You have an invulnerable, invincible power, which you know you have the recognition of the I am presence. The law of forgiveness is the wide open door to reach the heart of God. It is the keynote and hub on which the universe turns. This is what I've also been shown by my higher self in all of these channelings. Benediction. Thou mighty, infinite presence of God, we give praise and thanks for thy ceaseless ministry. We call thy blessings, thy wisdom, thy intelligence to act through each one, giving peace of mind, peace of body, and joy of heart, to go forth the ruling, conquering, victorious presence over all things. We give praise and thanks that the mighty presence I am, God in action, governs all official places, causing thy perfection to be ever operative and self-sustained in thy name and through thy presence. Fascinating discourse, and it's basically saying, I mean, everything that Saint Germain is saying, and the ascended host, which is all of the ascended masters, including Buddha, including Muhammad, including all the great ascended masters, Jesus Christ, all of them. They're all in the ascended state. They're all in the non-physical state, in the higher state. And we're still in the 3D, the physical state. So we're looking to these great masters for conviction, for help, and for direction. And it's when I was crying out for help that my higher self in 2020 finally came through. And the angelic beings and my higher self and the spirit guides, and they're all saying the same thing. And Saint Germain is right. You don't need sex for any close relationship. You don't need... Love is beyond sex. Love is beyond anything. Love is the ultimate principle of the universe, the hub on which the universe turns, as Saint Germain rightfully says in this incredible book. And I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. So let's continue. We only have a couple of minutes left, but we may as well start on Discourse 13. Discourse 13, November the 14th, 1932. Saint Germain. Invocation. Thou majestic presence, infinite creator of all there is, the great I am, visible and invisible, manifest and unmanifest, we rejoice in thy great and mighty presence, that thou hast made us aware of thy limitless power, thy infinite intelligence, thy eternal youth and beauty. We give praise and thanks that we have become so aware of thy great opulence, thy great abundance, that we feel it like a mighty river in our hands and use. Thou mighty endless source, thou ceaseless stream, thou hast made us aware. I am the mighty power of precipitation. We bow before thee in adoration and full acceptance of thy mighty presence and power. I bring you greetings from the great host, and the great light of the illumined ones is growing rapidly stronger. The Discourse. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the energy you use in every action. I am the light illumine every cell of your being. I am the intelligence, the wisdom directing every effort. I am the substance, omnipresent without limit, which you may use and bring into form without any limit. I am thy strength, thy perfect understanding. I am thy ability to apply it constantly. I am the truth that gives you now perfect freedom. I am the doorway into the light of God that never fails. I give you praise. I have entered into this light fully using that perfect understanding. I am thy sight that sees all things, visible and invisible. I am thy hearing, listening to the bells of freedom, which I have now. I am thy ability, sensing the most ravishing fragrance at will. I am the completeness of all perfection you ever wish to manifest. I am the full understanding, power and use of all this perfection. I am the full revelation and use of all the powers of my being which I am. I am the love, the mighty motive power back of all action. Wow, I think it's just absolutely beautiful. I think that's a good place to leave it for this one, because my throat's getting sore. We've read quite a lot today. I've had a kind of a good day, but I will admit, I shouldn't say it, should I? I should reverse what I was about to say and say I call on the Lord forgiveness for the thought of me about to say that I was feeling sick or feeling unwell, and I now say, with the divine presence within me, with the I am presence, I make myself well. I make every cell in my body perfect. I make every cell in my body well. And so be it. Namaste.